That is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that, and the fact that I'm a new homeowner, and due to that, along with travel that I've had to do for work, I haven't been able to spend much time with you guys. I haven't been able to develop a schedule for creating new content and live streaming. Plus, for the better part of a month and a half, the majority of my equipment has been packed up. I'm the type of person that kind of overly prepares for a situation like this. So as soon as I even got a hunch that it was time for me to move, it was time for me to pack it up, and I started preparing myself to get the hell out of Dodge. Ultimately, rent prices just got too crazy. I mean, over the course of 3 years, my rent went up over $400 at the place that I was renting at, and it was one of the better. It was one of the most cost efficient locations to live at in my area. So the fact that that was happening was difficult for me to contend with and to ignore without trying to do something else. It was either A, purchase a home, or B, I was moving back to the trailer park, which there's nothing wrong with moving back to the trailer park. It's just that I had severed a relationship that I had with a previous landlord uh, at the trailer park that I would have moved back to. Um, what's done is done. We move forward in life. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get the show started. Be right back with you after the intro.
That's great.
So, by the way, I am joined by my brother Cliff tonight.
Hey, how's it going?
Go ahead and pull that mic a little bit closer to you, Cliff.
It needs to become closer to me.
Yeah, so people can hear
Can
you.
you hear me better?
Yeah, can hear you a lot better.
All
So,
right, cool. How's it going, folks?
so we're here tonight to talk to you about the crazy news that we got today that someone had blown up the Georgia Guidestones. I had the benefit of actually seeing these things in person. Prior to this, I've been there twice, as a matter of fact. Once for whomitmay.com and once for Fringe Toast. Last time I went with Matt. We shot a lot of footage. We actually also had a telephone conversation with the son of the banker who facilitated the purchase of the granite. Just by happenstance, the story goes, we left there, and for whatever reason, all of the restaurants in town. It was a Saturday. All the restaurants in town had closed down for the weekend, and I think it had something to do with the fact that it was college football season. Elberton, Georgia, is not too far away from Athens, Georgia, so that lends itself to a lot of people and a lot of the community being supportive of the Georgia Bulldogs. I am also, but that particular Saturday, it seemed like the whole town shut down, man. So the only place we could find open was a barbecue place on the side of a highway that was about 12 miles outside of that town. And so we rode over there and we had lunch, and we recorded ourselves after lunch having a conversation about what we had just witnessed there at the Guidestones. And some people were curious about what we were doing, wanted to know what we were filming for. And, we started talking to some people. We actually did a couple of interviews with those folks. But then they were like, "Hey, we're friends with this guy, Joe. I forget his full name. first name Joe, but we're friends with Joe. Joe, again, for those who are just tuning in, is the son of the banker who facilitated the purchase of the stones that were used to build the Guidestones. R.C. Christian commissioned his father. Or
is there anybody in the show?
What do you mean?
Do we have any guests?
We have one person watching right now.
Oh, well,
thanks.
Hey to that person.
Hey to that person.
I don't see
it's a little eyeball. It's a little eyeball at the top of the screen. Dobby, calm down, buddy.
Right.
Anyway, so we had a phone call with the guy. You know, his primary motivation was the fact that he wanted to preserve the historical. He wanted to preserve the historical thing that had occurred there in his town. That was his primary passion. He's an older fella. You know, he's getting up in age himself, and took it upon himself to do what he could to, you know, make sure people were informed about it. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of videos of this gentleman on the internet that's been taken by TikTokers and YouTubers and people who put videos on Facebook of this guy just standing out in front of the Georgia Guidestones to tell the story as the best he knew it. You know, of course, he did not know who R.C. Christian was, but you know, he still wanted to be to show support for the history of the town. But today, it's all of that essentially. Well, not all of it, because the Guidestones themselves is only half of what is located here in this field in Elberton. And I don't know, a lot of people are kind of probably looking over the fact that there's also a time capsule there. And there was some time ago that I was talked to by a guy by the name of William Blackburn. He's from Georgia, and he and I have worked together in the past. You know, I've been on his show. He's been on my show back whenever I was doing Whom It May. And you know, he's really into Bitcoin. So I had him on to talk about cryptocurrency and all of that stuff early on, when, you know, cryptocurrency wasn't an everyday word to be said in households. But he, not too long ago, was trying to get together the resources to petition to open up the time capsule and see what's inside of there. So as far as everything, yes, these stones are demolished. I'm going to bring those up now for you guys to take a look at. GBI has published all of this stuff on their Twitter account. So yeah, they
have it on their Twitter, they have it on their Facebook, and it's crazy. I feel like they had to cut out a lot of footage because they only showed that one being blown up.
That one pillar. And then, I mean...
And of course, they did state they are the ones that took it down
right
the rest of the way, but still. Like,
only that one pillar came down. I think I remember from other footage and other images that a corner of the top cap or capstone was damaged to some degree, but it really, they said they had to take it down the rest of the way for the benefit of, you know, safety purposes, as you were saying, Cliff. Here's an image of a vehicle that they believe may be suspect in this occurring.
And this goes back to what I was saying. I feel like they've cut out a lot of footage. I feel like they're, in my opinion, hiding evidence from these videos.
I think you may be right, man. I feel like if they had so much evidence here to be able to share that this vehicle going by
and that one pillar being blown up,
there's
got to be more.
One of two things has occurred here. Either there was a projectile. I don't think that's what happened here, but there was either a projectile or somebody was walking across this parking lot. That's the only thing that can happen here.
And I do get the fact the car was parked strategically behind those bushes out of sight, but still they would have had video of somebody placing those explosives at the storm.
Yeah, I just don't see how all this could go. I mean, what do you think they're trying to cover up? I mean, there's no shortage of people that would want to see this thing go away.
Well, yes, but I don't know, man. There's so much going on. So starting from yesterday, now the Guidestones. It's hard to say because as the big news that was going on for yesterday was the Hadron Collider starting up.
Right.
So
this is day 2 of the new universe.
Yeah, at least for my idea or concept of it, like jumping from one universe into a new one because of the fact that
you're not alone in that. But the thing that I believe that is relevant is like it took 10 years for the big view of what potentially could have been caused, quote unquote. Allegedly. Like, I'm not saying that CERN caused us switch realities. That's what's caused the Mandela effect. What are you barking at, man?
There ain't no telling. He's always barking at something.
But anyway, so I'm not saying that that's what's going on here. But I will say that it was, if that in fact was, then it took a full decade, for people to start coming to realization that was what was going on. Hey, if somebody doesn't mind chiming off in the chat and letting us know that if you can hear us, if you can hear Dobby raising hell in the background,
yeah,
I'd appreciate that.
I don't know if I can see the chat because I'm not actually logged in or signed up for this page, this site.
Do you see comments on the right-hand side of your screen?
Yeah.
Click on that.
But I still don't see anybody I don't see where it shows who's in the stream.
It doesn't until they and if they don't speak, we don't know that they're there.
Okay, at all? Like nobody? We don't know if anybody's here?
I'd know that there's 2 people watching. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. I guess I'm just not seeing things the way you're seeing it.
Do you see a little eyeball at the top, up at the top left, where it says live?
No, I do not see that.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
I think that's because of the fact I'm not signed up or signed in.
That's interesting. Anyway, so yeah, this whole thing is pretty bizarre. We've got old gubernatorial candidates. Former Georgia gubernatorial candidate Candace Taylor credits God for striking down satanic guidestones. Says that this is.
So she's calling man God or woman God because we don't know who it was that was in that vehicle.
Right. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Here's what concerns me here. Here's what concerns me here more than anything is the fact that someone doing this work could be labeled very easily as being a domestic terrorist, and they've been using this term a lot and places where it doesn't exist, it shouldn't be used. I'm gonna say that really this is a case of that. I don't care. It doesn't matter if we approve of what was written on these stones. That shouldn't be our number one concern. Our number one concern is the preservation of our ability to. What was that? Oh, my bad. I don't know what that was. They listening in on me. Anyway, gremlins, as Mike used to say back in the day. So yeah, that's what concerns me here. Is like this is an example, a good example for them to utilize that term, domestic terrorism, and that's a term that gets thrown around today a little too much. But this gives banter to that, in my opinion.
That's probably what's going to happen. That's probably what's going to happen. It's hard to say. This seems suspicious.
Seems suspicious. You feel like that this is a kind of a setup situation?
Yeah, I think it's some type of propaganda setup.
I mean, very well could be. That's that scenario.
With everything that's going on in this country alone, it really doesn't surprise me that this would happen.
Again, I do in no way do I agree with some of the things that were written on these stones, but I do agree in the right for people to be able to voice those opinions. And this is an attack on that. Like it or not, like it is
an attack on freedom of speech.
Right. You can't have it both ways. You can't from the rooftop say, well, you're intruding on my right to speak, and then not say, okay, well, the other guy can't say what they want to say. You can't. More than it. So another positive thing wrapped around these stones was it brought a lot of tourism to this small town in this small county in the middle of nowhere, Georgia, that was able to get all of that revenue from people coming to see this thing. Yeah. And I got to tell you, even though I did not like seeing anything that was written on there or agree with anything that was written on there, the stones were beautiful. They were a very beautiful structure. And if you can't agree with that, then I don't think, hey, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on?
If you can't agree with that, I don't know. I don't think that you've ever seen it. If you say that these things were not pretty or beautiful, I don't think you've seen it in person. You may have never only seen it online, if that was your opinion, and only based off of what's written on them and you disagreeing with it. To me, this is kind of sad. This is really sad. I mean, I thought there was once a time when I thought that I would be kind of so I would celebrate this fact, and I think maybe I would have if this would have been done the correct way, through some sort of system besides someone deciding, all right, I'm ending this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because someone outright had just was like, I am choosing this ends here. I am going to impose my will on the existence of this monument, and it's going to cease to exist. No one ever again will see that unless someone comes out. That's another possibility.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking earlier too, is the fact that it could be somebody's way of trying to draw out the people that
Bring the mic closer to your face.
Dude, watch where your hand,
It's on a thing. You can move it anywhere you need to.
That better.
No, you need to get it right up in your face.
Right up in my face.
Yes.
All right. That better?
Yes.
All right. I feel like it's a way that people can pull out the people that created it in the first place, just so people can find out who these people really are.
Yeah. Just trying to coax them out into the light.
Society.
And really, whenever William Blackburn was suggesting that we should start a petition to try to get the time capsule opened, that was his intent. It wasn't necessarily that he thought that there was going to be anything of proclivity inside the time capsule. It was more so to have this petition running around, get some popularity wrapped around it, try to generate some kind of a grassroots movement, and drive whoever was behind it, whoever RC Christian was representing that day, or those over the course of a year and a half, 2 years that they were building this thing. It was to drive him out, or that group out into the light, to come to the defense of it and be like, no, you cannot open it. You shall not open it.
You shall not pass.
Yes. Thank you, Gandalf.
Dobby agrees.
Yeah, Dobby's in agreement, 100%. So, good heavens.
It's just a reflection, man.
He did this last night, too.
It's because he sees his reflection.
Okay, so folks, if you're tuning in, Cliff is having a fight with Dobby over the fact that he can see reflections of us in the window. We don't have curtains yet. We're working on it. We've got 2 curtains in the whole house. 3, my bad. We got 3 curtains in the whole house.
Each of our bedrooms
and
one in the living room.
Right, but the rest of the windows are at night turned into mirrors, and it trips him out, smooth out, because he thinks someone's looking at it. Anyway.
Dude, really?
Please hold. So for real, like I had full intentions of going live in the next couple of days to do a session with the GhostTube Vox app, and I like this app a lot from GhostTube. They've got a couple on the market at this point, but this Vox. The Vox app, VOX, is pretty cool in my opinion, because it doesn't necessarily work off of a word bank. It more so has a series of noises that are pulled out randomly, and sometimes it's gobbledygook, and you know there's no definition of any kind of a word or anything like that. But then there are some messages that come through, or sounds that come through, that you can only define as being words in English. And maybe the things that I'm defining as gobbledygook are words in a different language. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I was going to go live with that in the new place and see if I get anything. We haven't We haven't had any kind of activity that would indicate to me that we have the presence of anything here. But I don't know, just fun to toy around with. Whenever Frank Sumption, if you remember the series of live streams that I did on the topic of Frank Sumption, one of the things that he preferred to do, and whenever he first developed the Ghost Box, was just to let it go. He wasn't necessarily listening for any kind of contact with anyone. He just let it play and let it scan. And if anything reached out, then he would note it. That's it. That's all he would do. As a matter of fact, they referred to him as the Purple Princess, and he thought that he was talking to extraterrestrials, not necessarily. That is actually really awesome, and I don't know if I want that to change. So, just so you guys have a view of it, this is my Bigfoot blanket. Cliff has put over the window. That might actually stay. I like that a lot.
Hey, I'm glad
Maybe that'll.
Well, it's got him to stop barking.
Yeah.
And it's cool to actually see it hanging up like that because I've never actually looked at it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a tapestry anyway. And
is it?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be utilized in that way, but we've never done that. Of course, we have yet to have wall space for that kind of thing.
Exactly.
We didn't have an
we
open.
didn't have it before. Now
Right.
we do.
Yeah. So that's cool. So yeah, we're back. And
sorry.
no, it's all good. That's really the only thing that I wanted to talk about tonight. Cliff, I was going to give you an opportunity to discuss your favorite TikTok conspiracy, because you're always coming to me with these off the wall shits that I really don't know.
I don't even know. I can't think of anything right now, but now that I know that you're interested in the off the wall conspiracies,
Well,
I will definitely start looking into more.
Here's what we're going to do.
Conspiracies.
What you need to do is just write these things down whenever they come to you over the TikTokery.
When I'm TikToking on the Tic Tac.
Yeah, when you're TikToking on a Tic Tac, god dang. When you're doing that and you come across something cool, write it down, and the next time you're on the show, you can share something with us. Share one that specifically pops out to you.
The only thing I can think of at the moment is the fact that Ethiopia.
Get up on that mic.
All right, sorry. Is Ethiopia is it's only 2014 in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
They're 7 to 8 years behind the rest of the world, and they base it off of Adam and Eve.
Well, okay.
And something to do with Jesus' birth.
I feel like we need a diagram for this. Mike, I'm going to get lost with these timelines. So they start their calendar at Adam and Eve, not what we refer to as the Gregorian calendar.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think I remember one guy that was talking about that. He was referred like he's a university professor. I know for certain that you see him talking about a lot about being independent nations, or what is it whenever you claim yourself not to be part of the United States? What is that called?
Citizen American Republican. No, American Republic.
No,
or the U.S. Republic.
No, that is not it.
Something like that.
No, was it
nationalist? That's it.
Is a nationalist? I don't think that's true.
An American nationalist.
That just means that you're traveling outside of. You're an American traveling outside of the country. What is it called when you're? I know Rachel knows. Rachel, please help us. I know you're in the chat. But anyway, the guy that I'm thinking of that I first heard talking about this kind of thing, I don't even know if it lines up directly, but he was talking about the Gregorian calendar and how we're doing it all wrong, and how 12 hours in a day, 24 hours in a day, 12 hours in the morning, 12 at night, 60 minutes in an hour, and 60 seconds in a minute, and how all these numbers are like they are occult and nature. They're from they're esoteric numbers, and and he tied that into the Gregorian calendar and how that was wrong. And I don't know if I don't recall when he said the origin of the calendar was that he was talking about.
He could have been talking about the Mayan calendar also.
The Mayan calendar?
Yeah.
But the Mayan calendar has been defined as having ended in 2012. And it did not originate at the same time that the Gregorian calendar did.
But that might go back to where it's not really ended.
What?
The Mayan calendar might not have actually ended.
There's a lot of smart people out there that say that it has.
Considering the fact that considering the fact that you have the idea of Ethiopia's calendar. You know what? I'm going to Google that.
It's Ethiopian. It's the Ethiopian calendar.
I feel like they're connected in some type of way.
The Mayan calendar and the Ethiopian calendar are connected in some type of way. So while Cliff's looking that up, I wanted to invite you to go check out fringetoast.com. Hasn't same
Is
thing with. Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, same thing with the website as it has been with the YouTube channel and the Facebook page. As a matter of fact, zero content, zero changes for the past 2 months or so, just simply because we've been busy. We've been really, really busy, like extremely busy, not just at home, but at work too. I've been traveling a lot, and it's very difficult to develop a schedule for building things around travel that seems to pop up out of nowhere. Or you got to go to Texas, or you got to go over here and do this thing. So building a schedule for creating content has been completely out of the question, especially in the midst of also trying to move amongst all that. What did you find, Cliff?
The Ethiopian calendar, also called the I'm probably going to butcher this, but Gizi.
How do you spell it?
GE''EZ calendar. It is the principal calendar used in Ethiopia, and also serves as the I'm probably gonna butcher this word, liturgical, LITURGICAL.
I think you did it.
Calendar for Christians in Eritrea, belonging to the Eritrea Orthodox Church, Eastern Catholic Church, and Lutheran Evangelical Church of Ethera,
Hmm.
but that's what I found.
That's it. Sovereign citizen. Rachel chimed in from the chat. Thank you very much. Yes,
A sovereign citizen. I don't know why, because I don't know why I didn't think of that. Oh well.
I didn't either. So it's all good, man. You're doing
Yep.
great.
But yeah, that's the calendar. And it's based on 13 months, not 12 months.
Yeah, this is I know that this has got to be the same guy. This has got to be the same guy that we're talking about, because I absolutely remember him saying 13 months.
According to this, the people also ask, why is the Ethiopian calendar 7 years behind? The reason for this could be the fact that foreigners did not colonize the East African nation, that said the two calendars calculate the birth year of Jesus Christ differently. That makes the Ethiopian calendar 7 to 8 years behind the Gregorian calendar.
Also remember, one of the things that he said, the reason why there was 13 months is because they were all a set number of days. Instead of us having some months that are 31 days, some months that are 30, and then we got February that does whatever the hell it wants to, depending on the year.
Exactly.
That makes up the set 13th month, if you even all of those out into even 13 months.
I'm looking. The 13th month is Newton.
Newton?
Yeah, I'm looking at the calendar now. I don't know how to share my screen.
So there's a little button at the bottom that has like a little box with a plus sign in it.
Yeah, I don't see that. It's not. Oh, wait. You talking about the share?
Yeah, hit that. And then you got to figure out which window you need to share, because you probably got multiple open.
Am I doing it now?
I don't see anything popping up.
It's
okay. Hold on.
okay. It looks like I'm sharing, but I don't think.
Sharon is Karen. Click on that.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Got it. Are you able to see it now?
Yeah.
All right, here it is.
You might have to.
There it goes.
Okay, that's clearer. Good work. So what we got going on here?
It doesn't show the whole thing, but
It's 31 days.
it's 31 days.
Well, no.
Well, 30 to 31 days. It looks like after halfway through the year, you get an extra day added onto it.
And then the month of Newton is only 7 days.
Yep. And the actual beginning of their year starts, the new year starts on the 11th of September, if I remember correctly. Which I find funny.
11th of September?
I think so. I could be wrong about that, but I think so.
That is pretty strange.
But the 13th month is called Newton. I just found that a little funny.
Wow.
All right, how do I cancel this share? Stop share. All right, welcome back.
Yeah, so that's really all I wanted to talk about tonight. Thank you very much for sharing that with us, Cliff. And I wanted to see what your guys' thoughts were on that. Go ahead, and if you're watching this a little later on, go ahead and chime in the chat. Let me know what you think. What do you think that this is a horrible disaster? Do you think that that this was a gift from God, that these things were torn down and destroyed? Again, I'm leaning towards this as a tragedy, but only because it was a
Beautiful rock.
It was a beautiful monument, and it's also stepping on someone's ability to express themselves, even if that person was expressing themselves from 1981.
Was it only 1981?
Yeah, I think they started. I think they started building in 79, or started developing in 79, and they unveiled in 81.
Okay. Well, I'll look at it this way. Considering how many monuments have been torn down over the past several years, what's another one?
That's true.
Right.
I suppose, but no, that's not true. That's not. It wasn't okay for those, and it's not okay for this one. And yeah,
I agree, but I'm looking at it from the fact that I feel like nothing's gonna really come from it, simply because of the fact that all those other ones, nothing really happened.
put the microphone in front of your face.
Sorry.
Good Lord.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just feel like it shouldn't be completely in my face, but I understand that it has to be.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know.
Thank
I'm
you.
not used to it.
It's all good. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight and in the future. I'm not going to say that we're going to do this every week, but because again, I'm traveling a lot, and so it's kind of up in the air at the moment. If we wind up doing it, I hope you join me or join us. But if not, you guys take it easy, and we'll see you next time we do. Y'all have a good night.
Do.